Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Cardcraft. Thanks for joining me again today. Paper shopping bags. We're all getting quite a few. Now we'll make journal covers out of them, we'll make tags out of them, we'll make all sorts of bits and pieces out of them. Here's a really quick way to use them. Faux tickets. And we're using our scraps, all of our scraps. So all I've done is I've got my bag and I've undone it. You don't need to see me undoing a bag. We all know how to undo a bag these days. If you don't, there's lots of videos on how to undo the bags. I've then just cut them into strips. Now, my normal ruler is about 1 inch wide. While I was moving, I remembered I had this, which is a really large craft mat to stop the shine from that glass mat, but it also came with a magnetic ruler. So I just used that and I literally just sat them on, sliced it, sat it on, sliced it, so that it was the same width as the ruler. Now this ruler is not 1 inch, it's about 1.25 inches, or centimetre wise. It's a bit over 3 centimetres. So it's a little bit wider than 1 inch ruler, but it's not going to make any difference. You can make these as wide or as narrow as you like. So I've literally just cut a strip. Doesn't make any difference how long the strips are. It's just wherever there's areas, and I've gone around my wording. You'll see a little bit of red in here from some of the wording, but I've left the majority of the wording out. I didn't really want that on there. So all we're doing with these guys, and I love them, and I just sat here the other night playing with these and it was just amazing. Now I did all of mine to around about 2 inches in length, which is about 5 centimetres, mainly because that's what the markings were that were on this board. Again, you can have long tickets, you can have short tickets. I just found that this worked well, and all I did was I found my pencil. I set it on here and I just marked it at every 2 inches or round about 5 centimetres. Just very lightly all the way through so that I could see that mark as I went along with my hole punch. I have yet to find my rubber since moving. It'll be here somewhere when I finally set up my desk. So at the moment there will be no pencil lines rubbed out. Just it is what it is. We're going to learn to live with it. Right, so I've got a little bit extra there, but I've also got this. So I'm just going to tear that off when I get to that part anyway. So what I've now got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 ticket stubs as per se. What we want to do with this is we want to put a hole. If you've got, go back a bit. You know the little pastry wheels? They'll give you perforations. If you want to, you can run along there with those. If you've got a trimmer that will give you a perforated edge as well, quite a few of them do, as in with the round blades, they'll give you a perforated edge. And I know I've got one that goes with this, but I didn't want to use it because not everybody has the perforated edge trimmers and cutters and all the rest. But the little pastry wheels, they're really good, all for marking in leather, those sorts of things. And you can occasionally pick them up at op shops. But if you don't, we just want a couple of hole punches. So yes, I'm using my crocodile. I think that's what they're called. I've only had it for a little while. But any hole punch will work. The only thing you need to remember is that you need to get into the centre of this width, which is when I then realised that my ruler wasn't 1 inch. Normal 1 inch line, any of your little punches will go in. So this one was a little bit wider, which is why I went to my crocodile. And all I'm doing is popping it along halfway. I've marked this now at halfway so that it only goes there. And I'm going to punch a hole straight through the centre of my line. And no, that doesn't look halfway. So, you know, don't worry if it's not. It was the other day, but, you know, who's to say that this strip wasn't slightly different again? I just kept cutting strips because I was going to sit here and do heaps more during the week because I loved them. They were just a quick thing to do. They're great to have on hand, ready to go. They were using up some scraps that I found in a bin when I was unpacking a few things. And yeah, they were just a relaxing thing to sit there and mass make, I suppose. So this one's a slightly larger hole. It makes no difference. And that's why I want to bring out the 2 punches. So this one we're going to go just on the edge. Turn your punch upside down and you'll see, can you see there? So I've got that pencil line in the centre of it and I'm just going to snip out a little bit like that. Look, some of mine were exactly the same, some weren't. And yes, when I punched it, I went, oh no. But by the time I finished doing it, you didn't notice. Okay, so it's just one of those things that you will focus on at the time. But when everything is finished and you've got all these other wonderful things to focus on, you won't notice if some of these go in further than the other. Okay, so we're just going to go all the way down and then all the way down the other side so that we're giving ourselves little ticket stubs. And this is where you can sit down and do a pile of strips so that they're all punched out. And then you can just play around with actually, I'm just trying to find my pencil line in there because I've done them so light. Because I don't have rubber and I haven't had a chance to go out and buy one yet. Right, so there's all our ticket stubs. You could sit there and just mass make a pile of those ready to go. The other thing I like to do with mine is I had a dark brown fine liner. Love all my pens. This one has a really thin edge and a fatter edge. Got to admit, I don't use the fatter edges. But what I then went round and did was I just did a faux stitching line either side of, if I bring that up, you'll see what I'm doing. Either side of that pencil line, because again, it took my eyes away from that pencil line. And I then just followed it down. You can do squiggles, you can do straight lines, you can do anything you like. I didn't do it on or around where I've got the punched edges. Look, tickets can be whatever it is that you want them to be. You might just want to put numbers down there. You might want to colour the whole thing. It's up to you. It's the general shape that gives us that effect, not really what's on them. Okay, so imagine there going all the way down. Now, if I was clever, I would have had one of these already punched, already faux stitched, and we could have just picked it up and off we'd gone. But I'm not that clever, and I'm still moving into my studio, and in all honesty, it was the last thing I thought of. So I'm hoping the light's a little bit better. I've done a daytime filming so that I've actually got light coming through the windows because I've got a lovely window to my side. But shortly my desk will be back over where it's going to be and I can actually get my lighting set up properly. So I'm sorry at the moment if the lighting is a little bit dodgy. I know it's dodgy for me, so I can't imagine what it's like for everybody else out there. So this one is the one I'm going to tear. So I'm just going to continue those down a certain amount of way. Do those ones across there. Now you can do these as neat or as uniformed as you like. I am literally just flying along. Right, so that's that. So now we've got, oh look, they're starting to look a little bit more like ticket stubs all the time. I'll take a quick sip of my coffee. Which is now stone cold. Right, the only other things you need for these, we don't need much. So far we've needed a pen, we've needed some hole punches, I've used a pencil, little ruler, that's about it, and a shopping bag. So we've used those ones. I'm going to put those ones to the side. What we want are some scraps. So I have scrap papers sitting around. I've got these little books. Most of us have these little books sitting around these days. Now these ones are stickers. I've got so many of them. I love these little sticker books. These are papers. They were just bits. And a few stamps and some ink. And I thought, why not? Let's change it up and let's use my StazOn in the claret. I'm still going to ink around the edge of those, probably, depending on what the style turns out like. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 stamps. No, I haven't. I've got 6 tickets here. So it's just a matter of playing around with what we've got. Let's have a look. I like that. Now, that sort of thing, I'll get 2 out of, so I'll get 4 tickets out of that. So if you look at that, not much measuring or anything else. Let's have a look. These ticket stubs were about that. So it's going to finish about there. I'll sit you on there. Now you could tear them, you could trim them, you can do whatever you like with them. Right, so that should give me about my width. Yep, look at that. I like to just put them in there. I'm going to chop that to there so that I can put numbers or words or something like that on the bottom. They are so easy to do. And they're just one of these relaxing, look at that. All right, so there's that one. Now we could make lots of these. We could do 2 there. We could do, let's grab something else. That'll now become a collage sheet, won't it? So let's go into my scrap pile of old collage sheets where I've then just tucked them back in. And a lot of these are my old masterboards. Some of these, I would say these tiles are from Witchcraft Do You Do, by the look of it. I like some of these. Some of these make very nice ones, don't they? Let's go the green. Let's go the green. So we'll do a couple of the green ones. Will I get 2 out of that way? Yes, I will. So we'll go that way. And I think from memory it was about there. It's about a 1-inch bit. Yep. And we'll chuck you in half. So that is 2.5. 1 1/4. I reckon that's, you know my measurements. All right. So I've got that and that and that and that. These are just scraps. Let's say we want photos. Little tiny photos. Now, I've got some of these in here, which are the tiny little darkroom door ones. Now, I could trim her down and she would come up a treat on there, wouldn't she? So that's one of those ones. You could use real photos. Let's have a look. I've got real photos sitting here somewhere. I have. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Right, so this one's overexposed here, but there's no reason why I couldn't use something like that. So let's just show you something like that. We're going to trim this so that we're back to square. We'll just use our scissors. Just so that we can get it back to slightly done. There is no reason why you can't use anything on these tickets. You can have them so that they all match. You can have them so that each one is a completely different one and you tear off and use in whichever pocket that you want. So we want something like this, and we know it's around, for this size one, I want about an inch. So let's have a look and see where my inch is. So we're just going to set that there. His back to his feet fits perfectly. So set that there. Make sure I'm nice and even. Right, turn that round. An inch I said, wasn't it? Right, so that one will fit there, and we're going to just chop it off round about up there. So then it's just a matter of playing around with these and decorating them. So we've worked out our basics. We've worked out round about what we'd like to sit on each one. Okay, and they can be anything. As I said before, you could do a matched one. So they're all photos, they're all papers, they're all in themes of yellow or whatever else. For this purpose, we're just using lots of different bits and pieces just to prove you can use anything that you like. So some of these, and I haven't found all my stamps yet. Oh, you know, this is me who lives on stamps. I haven't been able to pull them all out yet, and a lot of my other ones I can't get to or anything else. So I've got a couple of little bits of stamps. So I've got a worded one. Now that's from Temu, I think. Yes, because it was sitting on there. And they're odds and sods of just different clear postage ones, and one of the ones off there. And you can utilise anything you like. So the reason I'm using my StazOn in the claret is because it is permanent. So with this one, and I used my other StazOns, stays on, depending on what school you went to. These stickers were slightly shiny. So my normal VersaFine Clear that I use is a pigment ink. It's not going to stay on that shiny surface. It's going to smudge. It may dry in a long, long time, but it's going to smudge up until then. So I needed to go on to a permanent ink. These were sitting here, so I could get to them. So when I'm popping stamps over the top of these shiny surfaces, you need a permanent ink. If I'm stamping underneath or just on this, now, see, look at that. That was the Coles bag. If you're stamping on just this craft paper, then you can still use any ink that you like. But you just need to watch if you're going on. So these ones were vellum stickers of different ones. Again, I use this because I've gone over the top of my actual stickers. So you'll see with these ones, they're longer. And I've taken up almost the entire length of the tickets themselves. Make sense? So with this one, we can pop stamps on underneath. The problem I found with that is that these are so large. Really, what are you going to say? It was so much easier just to stick, not easier, but just so much more common sense, I suppose, for me, which is really strange, because just to stick them on and then stamp over. Simple as that. So to stick them on, I'm just going to use a glue stick. Now, ones like this, Let's have a look and see if it makes any difference to the look. I don't know. Because this one's completely different little guy. This is me, and no me, I can't not ink. So I'm sorry. Alright, so this one's going down here because he's actually longer anyway, which will still give me my section for my writing, my wording. Writing, wording, same thing. Numbers, you know what I mean. For something going on down there, we're just going to stick that one on there. Preferably straight. If they're not, now she needed to be trimmed down a little bit, didn't she? So I'm just going to take little bits off her as we go. So I'm just going to use my blade for that, because I only need little bits, and I probably need to even her up again. Yep. So we'll turn around, take a little bit off both sides and even her up. Let's see how we're going now. Still think I might want just a smidge more. Try and go straight, Kylie. Let's have a look. That's better, right? We can stick her down. I'm assuming that glue book is in frame. Right, she's down. I've got glue all over her now. Hang on a moment. There we go. Right, so another one of these. I'm just looking for a spot that's not glued. Another one of these ones. I'm actually going to get rid of that, and we'll go to a fresh one. Just that one. And then we'll pop our photo on there as well, just to prove we can put anything we like. Fabric, ribbon, lace. Right. Okay, so we've got our bases on. Put away the glue stick now, because all we're going to be doing is some stamping. I'm just going to get out. No, I've already got it out. Where is it? There it is. Just a bit of scrap paper. This is actually a piece left over from last week's video. And just so that I'm not popping ink, and remember, it's permanent ink that I'm using, so we're not going to be able to wash it up as clearly or wipe it away off our work surfaces. So just watch what you're doing with it. You can get proper, stays on cleaner, but you know, it's a lot of mucking around. It's easier just to put something like that down. So I still can't believe I can't find all my numbers and all the rest. So we're just going to use this one. Popping him on. Now, I'm not overly concerned if they don't come out beautifully. That's just me with something like this. If I wanted dead spot on and all the rest, I would have a, trying to go in here where I can see, I would have a stamping mat underneath it. So we've got this here. We're going to put some numbers or some words down there. We're going to have lots of fun with this now. But what I do like is a little bit of postage, things like that. And it's just a matter of over-stamping. See what I mean about if we'd stamped that underneath, It wouldn't have made any difference before we'd stuck this on. So I wanted a little bit more going on there. Yes, if we'd stamped and then stuck this on, all we would have seen was this tiny, tiny little bit down here. So it's up to you. If you don't have any stamps, I feel sorry for you. Stamps are my favourite thing. You know that. You can always draw something on there or anything else. So, you know, get yourself some stamps. Look at things that you would utilise all the time. Something like a word one, a numbers one, a postage one that will go with so many things. All right. Go the right way up. Lovely. Wipe permanent ink off your fingers straight away so that it doesn't smudge all over everything else. Registered. Now, we can always just doesn't have to go to the top and to the bottom. And this is why we want a permanent ink. So you can see that this is really shiny to start with, because this is a slightly gloss paper. Okay? That's why we want a permanent ink. This is my favourite thing in the world to do. Sit there with stamps, play around with those sorts of things. Now, I want a larger word down the bottom of this one because I then want to tear it. Yes, I know I'm going stamp to ink pad, but they're little stamps and I'm lazy. See the difference when I've stamped directly on the craft cardstock? It's not shiny at all. Now, this is the one with this bit in the back. So what I want to do with that, now that I've... There. I just wanted to tear that. So it would have been torn prior to the sections of the stamp, of the ticket. There's tickets, stamps, stubs, you know. I'm playing with my words a lot here. But it's just, yeah, just literally play. Just literally play. I've got another nice one I like, which is that one. I've got these things all over the place. That's all right. We'll clean up at the end. And at some stage, these will go in with all my other stamps. And that'll be fine. But at the moment, they're sitting on my desk. I always have a pile of my latest ones sitting on my desk because I play with those. And then over time, then they get put away and go into my other stamps. Right, so what see this? Now, I know I've got a Tim Holtz one that's in a 5 and 3 that are very similar to these as well. I'm talking. Why am I talking? What that was meant to be done was to go there. Okay? These are great on anything. So I can put this on that as well. So you can have as many stamps or anything else. Let's turn it upside down now and have a 9 on that one. Like so. Well, there's going to be lots of ink on that. So I knew I had a shower just before this for a reason. Right. So we got 5s, we've got 8s. What I want now is just a little express. Little word. That's where stamp sets like these work a treat, because there's so many bits and pieces in them. And yeah, so I've got some Tim Holtz ones like these. I've got some Witchcraft You Do ones like these. I've got lots of different stamps like that. So how quick and easy, how much fun. They're a great way to actually while away an afternoon, make lots of mess. Make lots of mess. Let's just move that one out for a while. Let's turn that up that way. And you can just keep going to your heart's content. Look at that. Make them, sit them aside. This one I'd already, folded up anyway. So I had it sitting there like that, ready to go. You can do them, have them folded, pop them into a pocket, and then they've got a full strip. Leave them straight and just tear them off whenever you're ready to use them. But I hope you enjoy that. I hope it gives you another reason to use that shopping bag that we're all hoarding now. And we keep going, yes, we'll use more, yes, we'll use more. Well, we need more and more ways to use them. So tickets we'll get a lot from a bag. And they're sitting there and they'll all sit together, and whenever I want to, I can just pull them out, stamp a few others, do a few others up, especially once I find all my other stamps. Have a play. They're very relaxing to do. Thank you for watching this, guys. Thank you for subscribing to all those new subscribers I've got. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye.